Mall of America. It's home to world-class shopping, great dining, and amazing attractions and events. And these are our stories, presented by Bloomington, Minnesota Travel and Tourism. Welcome to So Much More. I am Jill Renslow, your host for today's podcast. Minnesota has been long home to some of the most iconic sporting events in the country. It's in our DNA. And this winter, we're gearing up to host one of the most exciting global hockey tournaments of the planet, the 2026 IIHF World Junior Championship. This event brings together the best under-20 hockey players from around the world with an incredible 2 weeks of fast-paced, high-energy hockey right here in the Twin Cities. I'm thrilled to be joined today by two amazing women leading the charge to make this all happen. Wendy Blackshaw, the president and CEO of Minnesota Sports and Events, and Jaimee Lucke Hendrikson, the president and CEO of Visit St. Paul. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks
Great
for having
to be
us.
here.
We're off to a great start. We are so excited for this event. So, Wendy, I would love for you to set the stage of explaining what is World Juniors and why is it such a huge deal that we're going to have it here in Minnesota?
So, first of all, it's the 50th anniversary. So right there, the fact that we're having it in the state of hockey, we had to have it here in Minnesota. Perfect place to have it. Marie Williamson actually was the person who started it, over 50 years ago. And so having it come back here this year is incredible. So I went for the first time a couple of years ago when it was in Sweden. And these are the future stars of the NHL. Like, this hockey is unbelievable. It is fast-paced. All the names you see on that rink are going to be, with the Wild, with all of the different NHL teams in the next couple of years. It is like nothing you've ever seen. I've heard it described as a combination of March Madness, the Olympics, and the Minnesota State high school tournaments. And I think that's just a perfect way. It's this emotion. It's these kids who are playing for their country and care so much. It's incredible.
That's fantastic.
Wendy, remember in Sweden at the games where it was just even a different experience than hockey games here? It was like a European soccer match. How fans were, had their flags. They stood up. They were chanting and singing through the whole game. It was just a really fun experience.
Yes. And Jaimee, you've been involved in this with your family for many, many years. So would love to hear your connection and what you bring to the table from a different perspective of your experience. And then also a little bit about what's happening in St. Paul.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. I'm originally from Grand Forks, North Dakota. And this tournament I think it's the 7th time it's been in the United States in 50 years, 7th or 8th time. So one of the last times was in 2005. It was in Grand Forks, North Dakota, where I'm from. And both my parents were part of the, local organizing committee. So I remember, I didn't live there at the time, but hearing about the community, their excitement to bring this event to the city, the lead up, all the work that goes into it. And then just like the stories they told about, oh my gosh, we saw Alex Ovechkin play against Sidney Crosby, right here in Grand Forks. And just how much fun it was, how much it brought their community together, a chance to show your city's pride with these guests coming. And I think something that as much as we talk about the World Juniors, when we're out talking about it, some people don't realize they're actually 10 countries that are going to be playing here. So teams and fans and families from Latvia and Germany and Sweden and just to have that all land in your community with a lot of hard work is really exciting.
So what I love is you have with you today, and for those that are listening and not viewing, she actually has materials from the 2004 World Juniors that was handed to you from your dad.
Yeah, it was really fun. He brought me this whole folder of stuff, and it's cool to see, and I think helps. Right now is all the work to pull everything together, and this really gives you that feeling of like, this is what's going to be happening, during those 2 weeks, and it's going to be really exciting.
We know the budgets were a little different, but were the teams fairly similar as the 10 teams?
Yeah, I believe it was really similar. Although back then, Russia and Belarus were there. So that's where, Alex Ovechkin played. And currently they're not in the tournament, but otherwise very similar. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, in preparation for bringing this to Minnesota, you said both of you were in Sweden. All three of us were in Canada and Ottawa this past year. Talk a little bit about that learning experience of how important it is for you guys guys to be able to immerse yourself in other countries, other venues, to understand what works, what doesn't, learn best practices, and then what you bring back here when you implement it in our hometown. So talk a little bit about Sweden and Ottawa.
So I think one of the things that was really apparent is how amazing our venues are. So when we were in Sweden, the bigger arena, that's beautiful. But the secondary arena was like a high school because that's the kind of venue that they have available. So it felt really good to be able to be presenting Grand Casino Arena and 3M at Mariucci for our event. Canada, a little bit of the same thing. The main arena was amazing. But the secondary arena. So I love how great our venues are. So we were warned before we got to Canada, like, Canadians are great, they're wonderful until you get in the arena and then watch out. And I'm thinking, man, we're fine. I've been to sporting events. They were not kidding. It was, they take their hockey so seriously. The level of competition and excitement was on like nothing I've ever experienced before. And they actually lost fairly early in World Juniors. It was like the whole country went into mourning. So I want that same level of excitement here when we are cheering on Team USA, because this could potentially be our third goal. So we want everybody to come out and show their support and show Team USA how excited we are to have it here.
Yeah, so US won in Sweden. They won in Ottawa. Now
we might be good luck.
Yeah, I think you guys are the good luck charm.
You're
that
right.
is for sure. And Jaimee, what was your experience being able to go and root on Team USA and these other countries and to just experience that? What was it like?
It's so fun to travel for a sporting event, and just the excitement around it and the activities. I think too, the chance for us, in that second week, there's a day that there's no games. And so both times that was a chance for us to go see like how much work and how much activity there is like in the media area and
volunteers
and the volunteers and all those things that make the event happen. The teams are practicing. It's really cool to go in and see Team USA practicing in that off day. But those are really important things for us to see how they do it and know how we do things and what that's going to look like here too.
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot going on.
The biggest surprise for me was to your point about how the Canadian fans shifted. So no matter who the USA was playing, they were cheering for that team. And it was just crazy to see that shift because there was a small contingent from Minnesota and from the USA that was there, but it was just crazy to see that shift at every game. And just, it was electric in that stadium.
It was when they scored a goal. I mean, when Canada scored a goal, just like how the place erupted. I think it felt like every single person had a Canada jersey on. I don't know.
Except for three of us.
Yeah.
Right.
But
yeah.
It's really exciting to see that like country pride. And I think we'll see that here as well with our Team USA.
Well, let's shift to Minnesota. We are on the runway to excitement as we are now into December and all the things that are happening. There's been so many events leading up to build awareness, to start selling tickets. We've just came off a Hockey Mom event, which was super fun here at Mall of America, which was great. You had the 50-day countdown. There's been so many exciting events. So what is to look forward for fans that want to participate leading up to, and then once we actually hit that week of game time, start painting the picture and build that excitement. So Wendy, if you want to start.
So one of the things that we are doing on Monday is we are opening the World Juniors HQ store here at Mall of America with so I've got the Bold North sweatshirt on, and we've also got World Juniors merchandise and gifts and Bold North mittens and just an array of gear that people can come by and then put it on and wear it to games in December. Once we start to move towards the later part of December, Bold North Breakaway, which is the Fan Fest, and that will be in Rice Park and in River Center. That is free and open to the public, and we've got the coolest activations going on. So the Securian bumper cars on ice. We don't want ice skates. We want bumper cars on ice. There will also be ice skating. There'll be s'mores and fire pits and all the kind of fun things that make that time of year so special. And then inside River Center, we're having the Hockey Moms Market, which is going to be curated by Mitch Berthume. So tons of really great shopping. I mean, sports and shopping, two best things. And then we will also have a lot of different games and activities for kids. So there's going to be so much to do. Again, even we want you to go to a game, but even if you just want to get the kids out of the house during winter break, come on down. There'll be a ton to do.
St. Paul is getting started already. The decor is going up. You can feel the energy in the festivities. Talk a little bit more about how do you embrace this from a St. Paul perspective, getting businesses involved, the community involved, and then spreading that across because we have other things that are happening across the Twin Cities and around the state. So if you want to talk a little bit more about St. Paul.
Yeah, I mean, we've been working on this event for 2 to 3 years now. So just keeping our partners informed. There's a great program called Puck Partners, which is a chance for our hospitality businesses to really engage with the event and let everyone from the planning side of the event to the fans and families know what there is to do. It's really cool too with the events in Rice Park and in River Center, and how, for example, there's gonna be trolleys that will bring you around downtown. And one of our partners that does historic tours in St. Paul, or a couple of our companies that do that, are going to be on the trolleys and sharing stories about St. Paul, about Minnesota, about history. So just one example of how, our partners throughout the city are super excited about engaging. We're just out there trying to communicate as much information as we can with our hotels, with our attractions, with our restaurants, so they know and are ready to welcome people during the event.
Well, because one of the things we want to do here in Minnesota and with Minnesota Sports and Events, one of the goals is to get people to not only come for these events, but be exposed to our marketplace and want to come back, bring their friends and family, bring their businesses for different events. And so that repeat visit and frequency is really important for all of us. So to be able to delight them, tell stories, entertain, we've developed a great reputation for that. I think what's really unique about this event is that leading up to the events that are going to be in St. Paul and be at Mariucci Arena is the fact that you actually have the exhibition games in cities across the state, which really brings the entire state element forward, which is really important for Minnesotans because we're proud of that. So Wendy, can you talk a little bit more about those 4 ancillary cities and communities that are going to be hosting?
So that's the exhibition series, and that is a hugely important part of this because the teams come in and they want to play and they want to play each other. So it's an opportunity for the players to get some practice and to kind of get their, get on the ice and play one another, kind of get that competitive spirit. But it's also a really great opportunity for other parts of the state to have access to the best hockey players in the world. So we are so excited to be in Duluth, to be in Bemidji, to be in Mankato, and to be in Rochester the week leading up. There'll be a number of different games. And again, it's so important. I think that we're Minnesota Sports and Events, not St. Paul or just Minneapolis or Bloomington Sports and Events. It does impact the whole state. And we really try to do that with most of the large scale events we bring here is how can we bring that out to the different parts of the state so everybody can experience it?
And you had so many cheerleaders in this effort support, whether it's from the legislation and some of the leaders we have at the state level, the hockey community, hockey legends like Lou Nanny. And I mean, it's just been so fun to see people that are passionate about hockey step forward and be champions and huge cheerleaders for this. You also do a lot within the community and recognizing that there might be other groups that might not have access to hockey equipment or rinks and just overall the sport. So talk about that importance, because I think that's a great underpinning for Minnesota Sports and Events. You always integrate community elements and legacy elements as well.
So using these events as a platform to give back to the community is as important to us as, of course, selling tickets is important, but these community initiatives provide us with a way to give back. And so we came up with Assist 26, And that has been our year-long community initiative. So we've done something each month, from the Jamboree on the north side of Minneapolis that we did last summer to, different clinics and camps and hockey equipment drives. We kicked it off last year with the Mayor's Cup, and Mayor Fry and Mayor Carter captained two teams of Pee-wees, and they played one another. St. Paul won. And it was incredible. So just using these events as a way to get more kids to play hockey, to get more kids involved in sports, and everything we do around these events, that's the goal. That's the goal.
And even from a community perspective, other people, whether you're buying tickets or not, if you're attending the events, you can also volunteer. And I think it's a really unique element that Minnesota brings forward. We're known for our volunteer base here. We deliver Minnesota nice in a way that other states don't. So Jaimee, talk a little bit too about how important that is to deliver it in St. Paul, because you have a team, you have businesses, but you couldn't do it without the volunteer support.
No, definitely not. And just community as a whole. In the work that we do as the, organization that promotes St. Paul and brings events here, we can't do it without every part of St. Paul, from our hotels to our attractions to our restaurants to our event organizers, really delivering on this experience. So yeah, the volunteer orientation was, I think, a week ago. And it was awesome to see the hundreds of people that came out and that are excited, 2 months before the event, to find out what their roles are going to be, what's their volunteer gear, how they can be part of it. I think that just says so much about.
They had a virtual option or an in-person, and we ran out of seats. We had 250, 300 people. It was incredible.
Yeah.
They are so excited.
And these are the people that are going to be giving that warm welcome, right? And showing off. I think so much of, we say, our work is to get people to St. Paul, because once they're there, we know they're going to love it. And these people are going to be the face of that, right? And showing that warm welcome, and the ones communicating like the pride that we all have in this place. And that's what's going to make people really fall in love with it. So they are critical.
So I've been part of Minnesota sports and events now for a few years, and this event just feels different. It has a unique heart to it that I think, just because Minnesota is the state of hockey. Wendy, talk about how important this is to you, as this one specifically, because I think that just watching you lead through this event, there's a special connection. So, and I think you may have some stories of how you got exposed to hockey early in your career as well.
So this does feel a little bit full circle, similar to Jaimee. So I was a Gopher hockey cheerleader way back when, and I was also during the 1980 Olympics, when Herb Brooks won the gold medal, I rode in the parade with Herb Brooks. So I got to the parade where we all met, and I see the as I thought of him at the time, the old guy waving his hand like, I need a cheerleader, and I'm like, oh, why is he pointing at me? Like, I wanted to go with the cute hockey player. I get the old guy. It was the most incredible 3 hours of my life. He was unbelievable. I actually ended up getting my first job in broadcasting because of him, and he was unreal. So that was magical. Now, fast forward a lot of years, and I am meeting so many of the people that I knew back then. Hockey has always been near and dear to my heart, but this just feels so wonderful. I think the other reason it's so magical is that Coach Motzko, coach of the Gophers, is the coach. So many Minnesotans either have played for it or are going to be playing in it. World Juniors alumni, they're everywhere. So, and we're engaging so many of them. It is just a really special event for our state, for the state of hockey. And that's why it feels so good that we are the host for the 50th anniversary.
Absolutely. Jaimee, anything to add or any fun stories to share?
I think so. I moved into this role in 2023. And so one of the first big things I got to do was Wendy invited me to come along to Sweden to the World Juniors to, like, it was our secret, but we were announcing that we were going to host it. And I just have to say that, like, having that be one of my first big, you know, professional experiences in this role, and also to have Wendy take me under her wing, you know, and be part of that was just huge. And then to be able to tell my family, guess what we're doing? We're hosting the World Juniors. So, we love and get excited about all the events we bring to the city. And this one is a little bit extra.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I love that. So let's talk about how can people get involved? Can they tell them how to buy tickets? There's so many different options for tickets, and everything is at mnsportsandevents.org. So that's a great location to go to learn everything that's going on. But let's explain how you can get involved. Can people still volunteer? How do they buy tickets? What are the events that they want to mark on their calendars?
Absolutely. And so we definitely still need a few more volunteers. So if you're interested, please go to our website and sign up. World Juniors MN 26 is where you buy tickets. That will take you directly to the ticket site. So here's a couple things. We have a BOGO starting Monday the 24th that will go for a week. So if you are interested in getting to a game, and these are for the prelim games, not the medal rounds. And then starting on December 3rd, the medal round single games will go on sale. So there are a lot of games out there. We're hosting 29 games. Grand Casino Arena and Mariucci. Again, greatest hockey, so a lot of different options. We also have our store at Mall of America. We also have Bold North Breakaway starting on the 26th. So there is a ton to do, and you can find all of that either at worldjuniorsmn26.com or at our website, which is minnesotasportsandevents.org.
I love it because I think, especially with the merchandise, it is the holiday season, folks. It's a great opportunity to get some gifts in front of the tree. You get your fan gear before the event so that you can wear it at the event. Oftentimes, you buy it at the events, then you have it afterwards. We want everybody ready to go with their red, white, and blue, ready to cheer on Team USA because it's going to be an exciting opportunity. This could be a three-peat for USA. And it's never been done before, but we're going to be there cheering as loud as we can to bring home the gold. So I have a little surprise for you guys, a little trivia to wrap up this episode. So we're going to test these ladies' knowledge of World Juniors. I think you guys will do quite well. So I think it's just interesting information too for our listeners and viewers to learn a little bit more about World Juniors. So first question, which country has won the most World Juniors championships since it began in 1977? Wendy.
I would say Russia. Canada. What am I saying? Oh my God.
It is Canada.
Honestly,
is Canada.
all of a sudden I was like, no.
Canada. They've actually took home 20 gold medals since the start of the World Juniors.
So, and so interesting because Team USA or USA didn't win until I believe 2004 or your year.
The year before.
Right. And now it's a whole different thing.
Yeah. We're turning the tide. We're ready to win again. Okay, what year did U.S. last win gold for World Juniors? This is kind of an easy one.
Last year.
Last year. I love it because we won in Sweden, we won in Canada, and we're going to win here on our own soil. So you already mentioned this, but we'll restate it again. How many teams compete in the tournament?
10.
Okay, let's see if you can name them.
Oh, you're going to help me.
I've been practicing.
Switzerland, Germany, I'm Sweden, USA, Canada, Czechia, Slovakia, Denmark,
Latvia.
I'm missing one.
Did you say Canada?
I did. Did I say Canada?
You did?
The last one starts with an F.
Finland.
Finland.
You guys got them. I'm impressed.
Oh,
Nice.
Thank you.
impressed.
I wouldn't have been able to do that myself.
I'm impressed. What is the age of the youngest player that we would potentially see in the tournament?
Is it 17? Yeah, I'd say 17.
Could be 17. I read there have been a couple 16-year-olds.
Wow, really?
So there is under 20, but they say once in a while there is that star player.
Yeah.
And we have a wild player currently that was, I think, one of the youngest that had played. I think
Zeev?
Krill. I think he was 16 when he
Wow.
played for Russia. So that kind of leads into the last question. Name a few of the NHL stars currently who were World Junior players.
Like
Faber.
most of them.
Yeah, I mean, who
Matt
didn't?
Goldie.
Yeah, right.
Brock Faber.
Yeah. I mean, there's I would say most of the top NHL players right now played in World Juniors at one time or another. I think too, like looking back, like Mike Modano, like some of the most, Wayne Gretzky, some of the most well-known names, the superstars, everyone played in World Juniors. And you don't realize it until you start to dig into it. And it's a magical, one of the things I love, Mark Parrish talks about this, is even more so than the NHL, that is a magical experience for him. Being part of Team USA, and they didn't win, but he said it was incredible.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's amazing talent on the ice, to your point. I mean, these are NHL players that, I mean, it's to see them at their prime as they're all pushing for that opportunity to be seen. And it's so exciting. And what's really crazy, I think, is the teams aren't even decided yet. So they literally get decided, what, about 2 weeks before the tournament starts, or not even?
2 weeks before the tournament starts. And you'll see the buzz is already starting. There's a lot of speculation. But they will be announced probably around December 15th. And that's also when the hardcore World Juniors fans then start to dig in and speculate, and all the chatter starts. And I think that's when the competition between Canada and USA will really kick in too.
Absolutely. Well, Wendy, Jaimee, thank you so much. And fans, get ready. Whether you're a hockey fan or not, the excitement is going to be electric, and we cannot wait as we are on the countdown for the World Junior Championships coming to Minnesota. It's very exciting. So like we had said, if you're looking for the schedule, if you're looking for any of the event details, ticket information, go to mnsportsandevents.org and just be sure to come and check out the World Juniors store here at the mall. It's located on North Level 3, right around the corner from our food court as you're heading towards Nordstrom. Check it out. Get those great gifts for underneath the tree this year. I think it's a fantastic, unique idea. But thanks for listening. Be sure to share this with all your hockey friends and family. And wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, rate us, score us, join us each week. Thank you for listening to So Much More. We will see you soon. Thanks for listening to So Much More, a Mall of America podcast. Subscribe wherever you find your favorite podcasts. This show is presented by Bloomington, Minnesota Travel and Tourism.